All right, Dominic, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, great to be back. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, it's part two of our podcast. Because we did my first ever podcast in person was with you when we were in
Yeah,
Bali. I think at the
this
end
was
of
great. Like we shared
2024.
the coconuts.
What was that?
We shared the coconuts.
Oh yeah, at the beach. It was really nice with the sunset and everything.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that one.
this
So we
time I
had to
have
make a part two.
more shirt on.
Oh, I remember, yeah, you did it shirtless. But since then, we haven't caught up yet. So I'm genuinely interested to know what you've been up to since then.
Yeah, so I kind of had a big like nomad journey. I was like, at the one hand, I was like going to Paraguay and setting up a residency there, because I left Germany, so I don't have a residency. I'm basically like stateless. So I thought it's good to have
Wow.
like some type of legal relationship to a country. So then in South America, I explored a bit there, and also I went to Bali again. But I felt like I kind of wanted to find a place where I want to spend more time, and I didn't want to spend time in Europe because I feel like Europe is it's not like growing anymore. Like of course you see some startups, um, but it's just like I feel like a lot of talented people are leaving Europe, and Europe has a lot of great things also. Like I miss things from Europe, but I just was looking for like I feel like in Asia things are really accelerating a lot, um, like a lot in China. So I was kind of thinking I want to spend more time in an area where it feels like it's rapidly growing, and like you see all the new innovation, and also things are really cheap. Like you don't need to spend as much money as maybe in Europe or in the United States or wherever. Um, so multiple people told me about like network school, and so I then like tried this out. So I was there for a month, just like figuring out, okay, what is this? And then I left again. I was traveling more, um, and now I actually like came back and signed up for long term. So I'm like somewhat long term living here. I'm not like I'm still like here for like 3 months now, or maybe like almost 4 months. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is actually a place to stay like long term. Um, but I'm also like still like figuring out like, okay, there are other places who are really interesting, like maybe even so network school is like in Malaysia next to Singapore. But also China seems really interesting. Like in China, you have these like drone shows, you have like drone delivery, you have flying cars, you have like giant LED buildings, like you have self-driving delivery trucks. It's crazy what's happening there. Also, China has like somewhat strange rules sometimes in some ways. Yeah, maybe a lot of cameras, surveillance, but this is also a good thing. Like you have low crime there. But yeah, I'm like in my head, like over the last years, I was like comparing a lot, like different places around the world. What are the pros and cons? Like San Francisco is like so crazy with AI. In Europe, you have like really nice grocery stores. You have like really nice like cities. Like it's walkable. You can cycle around. So every place has like pro and cons, and I'm like in my head, I feel like okay, I want to spend my time online anyways. I want to earn my money online. So that way, I'm not like bound to a location where I spend my physical time. So I kind of want to make a good decision of like, okay, this is the best location to stay.
Hmm.
And this is the best routine to live in, or like these are the most interesting people to live around. Yeah, I'm like trying to figure it out, but I haven't like fully figured it out.
No, I totally understand, man. It's very interesting that
So it's a journey.
it's been a journey for sure. I'm sure you have experienced a lot, learned a lot from different places, different cultures, meeting interesting people. I think, as you mentioned, I think it's important to, before you settle down somewhere, like really think about it and try different places and see what you like and what you don't like before you make the big decision of like settling down long term. So I think you are doing it well. What is it about the network school that intrigued you, and why did you decide to stay long term at that specific place?
So I feel like this is this place here is like a whole like psychological or human experiment. Like just get a bunch of like entrepreneurs on like a small island. So there were actually like a few influencers showing this island before. They were like showing it as a ghost town. So it's basically like next to Singapore. It was a Chinese like real estate project. They just built these like giant apartment buildings, and they created this island out of nothing, kind of,
Really?
to attract like a lot of investment and to maybe like populate it. But then people were not like living here directly, so a lot is still empty. But it's not a ghost town. Like it's now like actually like people are living here. Like a lot of Malaysian people, Indians, Chinese people. I met a Japanese guy. Like there's some people here, but still like a lot of apartments are unused. But then yeah, like Balaji, he's like a crypto biotech billionaire kind of. He just started this network school here, which is based on the concept of like a network state. So the idea is to get like people who are like aligned on the same values, who are like connected online onto a physical location, and then build like a small like startup society. And you have like just one membership fee, so you just pay one monthly fee, and then you get all the services. So you get like food, gym, sauna, ice bath, co-working. Is a
Mm.
cafe, but you still pay in the cafe, so it's not like everything is free. But it's not communism. But yeah, like they try to handle like all the services, kind of like a government in a way, providing infrastructure, and you're like just a citizen, kind of like a customer of the company in a way, but in a way like citizen as a service. So you live here, you are like a member of the community, and but you don't need to think about a lot. Like there's just one gym. You don't need to think about, okay, which gym do I go? Gym is pretty good. There's just one food place. I mean, there are some local food places, but you just eat the food every day when it comes. You don't think about, okay, I'm going to go to food to this place and then eat dinner here or whatever. You just go to food. You don't need to make decisions. Um, You can add on some sauna or ice bath if you want. Just go to the one co-working space that exists, or you work in the cafe. Like in Bali, you think every day like, okay, where do I want to work? Where do I want to get food? Where do I stay? It's nice to have some options, but also like it's nice to not need to make decisions. So it's like interesting to be at a place where just like all the decisions are made for you, and you can just like live. And also it's like it attracts really interesting people. So you get like all kinds of demographics, all kinds of people from around the world. I mean, you get more from Asia because it's closer. So it's not that big of a deal to like go here. But you get people from South America, you get people from the States, you get people from Europe, Belgium, Germany, France, like
Mm.
Slovakia, whatever. almost all European countries, there's some person here. Yeah, and also like everyone is interesting in some way, like a lot like AI, biotech, or not as much biotech, but a lot of AI, crypto, a lot like entrepreneurs, like some social media, some finance, like all kinds of people. And everyone wants to work, so or like 97% of the people want to work. There's some people who are like exploring, and everyone goes to the gym. So in the gym, you meet the same people. It's kind of like you go to the gym and you have your homies in the gym. Like
Yeah.
it's nice to then you talk with them. Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Just having a government or like just a society as a service. Yeah.
Society as a service. So very interesting concept. And it sounds like it's a great place to focus, lock in, and work on your startups, whatever projects you're working on, and having those
Yeah, like
like-minded individuals.
you maybe find a co-founder here. Like I actually I started one project in April. I found like 2 co-founders here. Now I'm working a bit less on that project, but kind of like started another project, found 2 co-founders here. Um, um, yeah, like you really aligned and you find like the matching people for the ideas you maybe have. And also there's there's a content studio. People do podcasts here.
No way.
And so you can just use the content studio. And yeah, there are some like people who do social media. Also the diet is also one interesting part here. Like it's kind of like you're forced to eat healthy, so you don't have a choice. You just get like these food bowls. So there's a fridge. You can take out the food, and then you just eat like beans, vegetables, tofu. At least for me, there's also meat, eggs, like just like healthy stuff. Like and it's they switched a bit the ingredients every day, so you have like variety. But there's no you don't get unhealthy stuff here. So you kind of like you can't even make the mistakes of like
No, that's good.
choosing the cake.
Sounds like a great place, man. I'm curious about what type of content do they make there? Is it only about tech and AI?
Yeah, so 2 girls here, they just started a podcast, Biobabes. That's like kind of like biohacking. And they trying to interview like some really deep biohacking people. And some people do like travel content. Some people do like content specifically for their business. And some like I think like there needs to be more like I thought of doing some biohacking content, but also like I'm personally not too deep into the content part. So I should like network more in that. But I just saw a bunch of people like trying things. There's like Balaji himself has a podcast. There's like people who live here do like some smaller podcasts here.
Oh, that's interesting. It's something that I'm genuinely interested in, learning about tech and biohacking, living a healthy lifestyle. The network school, was it? I think it's interesting. It's very tempting. I'll look into it.
Yeah, also since you're like a content creator, I think they want to collaborate with content creators. Maybe you can. I heard from one creator who like lives for free here, and she does like content,
No way.
and then I think she just like needs to produce a few, like a certain amount of videos. I don't know exactly what the deal is, but there's some target she needs to hit every month, and then she can just live for free here. So they want to grow this place rapidly. So that's why they want to like partner with creators who do some marketing. So right now it's about like 300 people, but they are now like rapidly iterating and like rapidly focusing on growth. So maybe in a few months there's like 600 people, 1,000 people living here. And the whole island has like capacity for like around 100,000 people. So it's maybe 20,000 people live here with like locals included.
Mm-hmm.
So the network school itself is like not a big part of that, but if you think about like a like startup that like grows rapidly, like maybe we get like 1,000 people in a few months and like 5,000 a few months more, 10,000 people at some point, 50,000, like this might grow and this might be a city at some point. And maybe you have heard a bit about the history of Singapore. Like Singapore was at some point like a part of Malaysia. And then they got independence and they got to be their own country. And I think Balaji has the same vision of like first being a part of Malaysia, but then like being this like rapidly growing city with a bunch of like startups like health tech, AI, producing a lot of value for the country. Like these startups would pay taxes. These would offer products for Malaysian people, for people in Singapore, for international people. And then at some point you have leverage and then you can negotiate with the country and say like, look, we want to be our own country. Like
Wow.
we want our own rules. We want a passport.
It's a big vision.
And yeah, maybe it happens. Maybe it dies in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an experiment right now. But it's interesting to observe.
Sounds like an interesting idea. It might work. And I think there are well-known people who are backing it. I think Naval Ravikant and Brian Johnson is supporting it.
Yeah. So
I saw their names.
I'm not sure like how much they are backing it, but I think like they raised some money recently. So I assume there are some investors, probably like Brian Johnson is involved somehow. Like the whole diet and the protocol, the health thing is like inspired by him. And yeah, Balaji has like connections to a bunch of like other rich people. So he also worked at A16Z, which is like a big venture capital investment firm in the US. So he has some big connections to some big people. I think he had some interesting guests on his podcast. He had like Andrew Huberman on his podcast. Like,
Nice. I
so
see.
there's some. He has a network of powerful people, but he needs to convince them to support it. But I think he already convinced a few people.
I can see it working, honestly. It might take a while, but it's a good concept. I'm intrigued. I want to learn more about it.
Yeah.
How's the application work to apply for it?
Yeah. So I think they have like, not sure actually how the core team manages exactly, but you like sign up and then you just you can share like a personal application text, like what you're interested in and these kind of things. I think they want to have like entrepreneurs, like digital nomads, these kind of people, like people interested in AI, crypto, biotech. I think they try to expand demand, so there should be space for more people. So I'm not sure how much people they reject, but I think also they're filtering in some way. So if you maybe don't write anything, maybe they think, okay, we don't know what this person is. I think they don't want to let everyone in, like they want to still maintain some like just focusing on interesting people who are like aligned with the vision also. But yeah, you just like sign up like on the website, like can use my link.
Yeah. There's a referral program, right?
And you get a week free. And yeah, you just like type in your details. There's a questionnaire, I think. They're also like iterating quickly, they're changing things, so I'm not sure if it's the same right now.
Mm.
But yeah, then you just pay the monthly fee. So if you want to share a room, it's like $1,500. If you want your private room, then it's 3,000. They just have this like pretty simple pricing, and shared room is just like with like one other person. I personally, like when I tried it first, I already had a friend, so then we had the same room. I knew the person, so it was quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they do like monthly cohorts kind of. So you start in the beginning of the month. There's like onboarding and stuff. So you get introduced into the community kind of. Yeah, they try to put a lot of structure into this and like guide people through it. Yeah.
So for the price, everything is included. Your
Yeah,
stay,
you can
the
basically just pay the
facilities.
membership and don't pay for anything else. Like you just survive your work. If you want some extras, like maybe you do some trip on to Singapore or something, or you go to a mall nearby or something. Of course, then you pay yourself like whatever you buy. But if you go to the cafe and you get some coffee, they also have like some free coffee. So you don't need to get coffee to have a cafe, but you can basically live here just paying 1,500 per month, nothing more. So it's also interesting, like if you have some savings, like okay, how many months can I live until I starve? um, you have like a really precise cost, so you know exactly when you need to work.
Right. It's easier to calculate the expenses. Interesting. What about you? You've been really into biohacking the last time I met you. Are you still into it? And is there anything new or fascinating thing that you're really obsessed about right now?
Yeah, so I haven't never stopped doing like being interested in biohacking. So this is like kind of a part-time job where I just like hack myself the whole time, doing like experiments and trying out different protocols, therapies, whatever. Recently, I tried to optimize my microbiome. So I think that's something interesting that like I feel like really good right now. I think because of it. Maybe it's other aspect also, like you always have a lot of things changing, and like I met a guy here, just told me like, look, I'm growing these bacterias in my room. Do you want a shot? And he was like explaining like, okay, this is like good for your gut, like. So then I was interested, and I was like trying just a shot of it, and it felt good. I didn't had any problems with it, no nausea or like whatever, and I felt really good. Like after, um, felt good on the toilet. Like I mean, some people have some unwell feeling on the toilet. I had sometimes something like this and was really good. And yeah, then I just asked him like, how do you do this? He explained me he has a yogurt maker, and so you can buy these bacteria. So it was Lactobacillus reuteri, REUT. No, you can put in the name. Can send it to you later. Yeah, then you put in the bacteria into this like yogurt maker. You just can fill it up with like milk or soy milk, or you can also do water and then put some inulin. That's like a sugar that bacteria eat, and then you let it like sit for 36 hours on like 38 degrees Celsius. And then these bacteria grow in your yogurt maker. And then you just have this like liquid of these bacteria, the Lactobacillus reuteri. And then you can consume them. And it's like really good for you, actually. So there are a bunch of studies like showing that it has a lot of benefits to humans. And also they found that at some point humans had these like naturally, but then they disappeared. So kind of like in your gut microbiome, there's like a bunch of different bacteria, but this specific species is not really common anymore. So you kind of like reintroduce them a bit, and they have a bunch of like positive effects also. You feel better, and your stool is better. Like I personally have a really good energy. I feel good, like kind of like almost an antidepressant, just fixing your gut microbiome
Mm-hmm.
makes you somehow feel better, and then like you just you have more energy over the day, and you're happy. It's also like good socially. Yeah, maybe this is also like this a tiny bit placebo, but I feel like it can't be placebo because placebo can't be so strong. So it's an experiment I'm running. So it's just like drawing something in your kitchen and then ingesting it. I don't know,
That's
but
interesting.
it worked for me. No medical advice. But
Yeah, I need to look it
talk
up.
to ChatGPT about it.
Yeah, he got the answer. And is it something that you have to take daily or just once?
Yeah, so you kind of grow like a liquid in this yogurt maker, and then I put it in a bottle, and I just put a small shot every day that I drink in the morning. So you can like you have a few days of like one batch, and then while the batch is like ready, you drink from it. You can make the next one. So then you just like you let them grow and consume the last batch, and then grow the next batch. So it's like a process. And yeah, so it's not fully clear if the bacteria like stay in your body. So it might be something that you do regularly. But I think in some people they showed that the bacteria like settled after like a few weeks. So then even if you like continue to eat healthy, you kind of maintain these bacteria in your body. And then they basically your body like they just like settle down. They're now a new resident of yourself.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, I have to look it up, man. Sounds fascinating.
It's also maybe a bit much if you like you need to work a bit sterile, like if you don't have a lot of experience with like doing these health experiments, and it might be a bit difficult. But I think if you want to try it yourself, like ask ChatGPT about it, like how can I make my own yogurt and how can I do it with this specific bacteria.
A lot of things to learn, man. I'm still new to this biohacking, and this sounds like more of a next level thing. Wh- Which biohacking practices would you recommend for someone who is totally new to biohacking?
Getting good sleep. I think I mean it doesn't seem like a hack, but I think sleep is the most important thing. So a lot of people like they think they need to add something on to like improve their life, but actually like a lot of people are lacking things, and then like just adding on like makes them have even less time to like work on themselves. So before you do like these like more crazy experiments, I think you should fix your life first, like get good sleep, eat healthy, go to the gym, and drink water, and then you can add on things. So, and you can maybe take omega-3 supplement, or you take some creatine. You can maybe take some vitamin D. Like do blood work, check your levels, check if you're healthy. Yeah, go to doctor, do general check, brush your teeth.
Right. It's so true, man. Most people neglect the fundamentals of it. Getting good sleep, working out, eating healthy, drinking enough water, taking some supplements, vitamin D, omega-3. Those things are very basic, but it's very effective. And you're right, man. I think people should focus more on the basics before they go to the next level.
Or maybe you're like have the habit of binging a bag of chips before sleep or something. I don't know. Like sometimes it's some habit you should remove. Sometimes it's like just get more sleep or quit this job that like where you do night shifts or whatever, like, and get a better job or something. Like it's like really custom to everyone. Like people have different problems. So I think first is like identifying the problems, fixing them, and then you can add on solutions that improve you even more. Yeah.
That's a great advice. I totally agree. We should
Well, what do
focus
you think
first.
are like, just do some self-analysis. Like right now in this current moment, like, do you feel like you have any things where you feel like, okay, this is a problem I want to fix right now?
That's a good question. Because I've been on my self-improvement journey. I've gotten good at most habits, but obviously there are things
Sometimes
that
you
I
miss
have to
one and
work
then
on.
you lose a streak or something. What is
My
your
sleep
problem
is
right now?
good.
Okay, good sleep. So you have number one.
Yeah, good sleep. I'm eating healthy, mostly healthy, not 100% of the times, but I would say 70-80% of the times I'm eating healthy. I'm
Doing
conscious of
sport.
that. Drinking enough water is something I'm lacking,
Oh yeah.
especially being back home. I'm not drinking enough water, and I'm not drinking coffee after 12 p.m. That's a rule I set to myself because I'm used to drinking coffee in the afternoon, sometimes
Yeah.
late in the afternoon, and that decreases the quality of my sleep. So I stopped doing that. For the rest, I'm still working on improving my attention span, meditating, consistently working out. I have to improve that as well. Need to work out more consistently. Eating healthy, drinking water, having good sleep, learning,
But that's
constantly
a
learning.
good baseline. So you're kind of ready to add on some things. Will you say you already have some add-ons that you do, like some protocols, some supplements you take?
I think I can be more consistent at taking creatine. That's how I'm lacking.
Yeah.
Taking creatine, vitamin D, I'm not taking that. Even omega-3, I'm not really taking supplements consistently. So those 3 supplements is something I need to be consistent on.
Yeah, I think vitamin D and omega-3 is like most important. I mean, of course, you should do a test, like don't take too much, like, but in general, most people lack these two, and fixing that has a really positive effects on most people. So I would say it's a really good general recommendation to take these two. To actually know your exact dosage, you need to kind of experiment a bit. I would say for omega-3, it's really, really safe and good to take like 3 grams of like fish oil or algae oil per day. And vitamin D, it's like really safe to take like 2000 IU per day. But personally, I found that this didn't got me the levels that are in the upper high kind of. So my target is like getting the levels in like the upper range, what is recommended. And so then I started like taking more, and I was measuring my blood. And then I found out, okay, I should take actually 5,000 per day to maintain these like higher levels. So it's also something it's safe, and it already helps to take like just a bit. You will definitely improve your levels no matter where you're at. But if you want to like really find your best dose, then it's good to take a blood test, like measure your vitamin D levels, and then like if it's too low, like increase your dosage, and then maybe a month later measure again to see, okay, it's not going too high. And
That's good advice to take the blood test to know the measurements, and then you can take the supplements accordingly. And like you mentioned, most people are deficient in vitamin D. In Europe, like
in the
Belgium, they
winter,
don't,
yeah.
especially in the winter. And for someone like me who doesn't really eat that many fish, seafood, I'm lacking omega-3 for sure as well. I want to know, what are your thoughts on creatine? Is it something you would recommend someone take?
Yeah, I think creatine is like general supplement, almost like protein powder, which is kind of like I would recommend to everyone. Like no matter if you do sport or if you don't do sport, no matter if you're like a man or a woman or if you're like young or old, like I recommended that. I gave my grandparents like creatine, like so it's like actually shown to help improve your brain health in like older people. And there are like different dosage ranges in creatine. So a lot of people like think of creatine as this like gym bro thing where you take like 5 grams a day and you just look bigger and you have a bit more reps in the gym. Like maybe you can push 5% more, 10% more. But like recent studies show that it actually has a lot of brain benefits also. So now I'm taking like higher doses. So these studies tested more in like 10 grams per day, 15 grams per day, even like 20 grams. So you can use creatine as a bit of a buffer. Like if you had like a bad night of sleep, you can buffer a bit of that, like by taking like a high dose of creatine. But also in general, like if you want to improve your general like cognitive performance, it's good to take high doses of creatine because like the creatine kind of goes first to the muscles, and then as soon as your muscles are filled up, like around like probably 7 grams, then the remaining is like available for like other parts, so like the brain and organs. And yeah, like a lot of people in San Francisco have this like meme where you just black coffee, creatine for work kind of. So not even for the gym, just for like working, like for focus. Yeah, I just have like here. Oh no, where's the bag of creatine? Some creatine, some product placement here. There's a giant pot of creatine just
I
sitting
see.
next to me.
Yes, it's very interesting that it also has cognitive benefits. And I'm also trying to take more creatine and get my parents on creatine as well, as they're getting
Yeah,
older.
my mom is taking it.
Nice, nice. You were able to convince your mom to take creatine. Didn't she think it's some sort of a drugs or something?
No, I mean my mom is also open to health and improving longevity. So I'm like telling her a lot about like things that are helpful, and she's like trying it. She even like sometimes she sends me like, oh, I read about this. Like, what do you think about this? Or do you want to try this? So,
That's
so
amazing,
she's
man.
like interested herself.
Is it maybe influenced by your mom that you are more into biohacking?
Maybe. I think my mom was like always like since I was a kid and my brother like trying to have a healthy diet, and like I think my mom took omega-3 like while I was in as a small fetus. So maybe like I got some inspiration from there.
That's a good one, man. Okay. I'm happy to hear that, dude, that your mom is also into biohacking and
I
you
mean like
don't need to convince her.
I feel like biohacking is actually more like this, like if you do these like special hacks or like these more like niche things. But I think my mom was not like doing like these like hacks was more these like health recommendations, like kind of like parents when they're pregnant, they read these like health books, and probably like my mom was like researching, okay, what is helpful for a kid like to be healthy, and then the author said like take omega-3 or something, or maybe someone told it to her or something. I think it was more the health focus. But yeah, now like biohacking is kind of like one big part is just being healthy, and I feel like biohacking turned now into like longevity. So like everything is about like maintaining your health, like having your health not decline. Because people are used to like health declining over time, and you kind of becoming older and more unhealthy, and your skin looks worse and you become weaker. But if you just like focus on, okay, I want to do everything that like my health is just like not declining, just staying stable.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically longevity, like just staying healthy, and like because like biohacking is more this, I want to get this like peak capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just stay healthy. I want to be the most healthy. I want to be the most fit, the most intelligent, or whatever metric you want to optimize. So
Mm-hmm.
biohacking is, I think, more about like maximizing a certain part. Yeah, but I feel like longevity has a big trend right now. It's, a lot of people just want to be healthy and maintain their health, not decline in age.
Right. And I think Brian Johnson is like the face of longevity right now.
Yeah, he just
What
took
What
it
do you think
over.
about Brian Johnson?
Yeah, he does a lot of weird things, and I think it's good because like people should try out things, and then you can just like pick whatever things he found out that were helpful. So recently he put a lot about like sauna is really healthy, reduces your microplastic and other like harmful chemicals you have in you, and makes your cardiovascular health better. Or he's sharing like a proper diet, like you can just eat these things and this is good for you. This is the most beneficial food. A lot of things like he does are like people did before him, but like he just like tested him himself, and just like he tried to measure everything and then prove with data, okay, this helped me, this that didn't help me. And so I think it's just like a nice experiment to watch. This helped and this didn't help, and you can just like take. He does it open source, so he just shares his results. So you can just like take whatever protocols he says is good, and then like do it yourself and measure yourself if it helps yourself, and then you kind of learned from him. Like you didn't need to go through all this like trial and error yourself to come to this conclusion. Of like
I
he does
respect
some
that.
weird things, but like I don't think like a lot of people try to focus on like the bad things of someone. I personally wouldn't say bad even, but like just some people don't like if someone shares. Like he recently shared some sexual thoughts, whatever. Like I personally don't care. Like I didn't read it actually. I just heard from friends like, oh, this is weird. And I mean, just because he does something, like you don't need to share your sexual thoughts. I just like want to copy everything that worked for him and like try it on myself and like see if it works for me.
Yeah, I respect Brian Johnson on experimenting on himself and then sharing the data with everyone. And like you said, I think it's important to, take out the good parts of someone. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything, though, even the bad parts, let's say the negative parts. You can just take the good parts of someone, learn that, and use it for your own life instead of agreeing with everything that the person says. I think that's a good point. Being wise enough to know what are the good advice, the things that you can learn from that person. Talking about Ryan Johnson, the man who's trying not to die, is it something that you would want as well? Like not dying?
Yeah, I think like I don't personally focus a lot on like death. Like if you say don't die, like it's like people think too much about like oh, at some point you maybe want to die, like it's healthy for humanity or something. And I just like don't think about that. I just like I want to focus on just the aspect of like maintaining health. Like I want to be the same health in a week as I am right now, maybe even healthier. I just don't want to. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to have any cancer. I don't want to become any issues. I want to just maintain my personal my current health, and I want to be the same healthy tomorrow and the day after. And I don't want that I in 5 years that I declined in health. So for me, this is like longevity, and I personally don't focus on like death. I think I mean, like you take risks in life. You drive cars, like you could die. So you should like think about okay, minimizing risks. And yeah, like at some point you will take some risk and you will maybe die. Like, but I just personally don't want to die on like my health declining. Like I don't want to have this like slow death where I'm at some point in the hospital and then yeah, and I also want to like maintain my performance. Like I want to run around the island or whatever. Go to the gym, like lift some weights, and I also want to look good. Like I want to maintain my skin health, and yeah, just want to focus on like maintaining health and not about like dying. And I mean, you take risks every day, so I'm not like avoiding any risks. Like I like rock climbing. This is like there's some risk involved in that, or like just like going somewhere you drive with the car, like there's some risk involved. Like I'm not avoiding cars, but I might avoid like motorcycles, or maybe I avoid swimming here because there might be some saltwater crocodiles.
Imagine.
There was a sign at the beach here at some point, like be careful, crocodiles.
No way.
So I haven't tried swimming. I probably also want to try that. But
Okay,
there's a
I think
beach.
I
So
understand. You want to live a healthy life as long as possible and not have your health decrease when you age. You want to keep it at a high level as much as possible. I think that's a good goal to have. What about like the mental health? What are you doing to improve that?
I feel like mental health is like quite complex. I'm not a psychologist myself, so I'm like more like improvising. I think like mental health has a lot to do with like general health. So if you sleep well, if you like eat healthy, your brain will also be healthy, and also like your gut microbiome, like the food you ingest, like it's not only food for you but also food for your microbiome, and they also contribute a lot to your brain health. Like they convert certain amino acids into neurotransmitters that go to your brain, and like there's a lot of like symbiosis. So I think like to have good mental health, you should focus on your physical health a lot. But also I think like you should work on something that you like. You should like avoid people that you don't like. Like these basic things, like some people drain your energy, some people give you energy, some places drain your energy. Like also one thing here that I realized is like a big thing about mental health. You basically never eat alone, because the food is like served in like a kind of like a food room. And so you always like take your food and then there are people around it. So you like sit down with them, talk with them. So you never like eat alone. You just have like people around it. Like when I was traveling as a nomad, like felt a lot of loneliness because I was like just taking this Airbnb, or like then I didn't know anyone in the hostel, or like I was just eating my food myself or like going to the restaurant, and maybe you meet like one friend there or something, and then you just spend a few days with them, but then this person also doesn't have infinite time. But here you kind of like you're forced to like talk to people. Or like, I mean, you can take the food to your room, but it's like easy to like socialize. I think if you just have like some interesting people around you, like you socialize a bit, you eat healthy food. This is also like good for mental health. And yeah, I did some experiments, which I feel like I also improved my mental health and my mindset a bit. So I tried out microdosing. So I met someone here, and this person shared a drink with me. And yeah, so microdosing is basically like a tiny dose of a psychedelic,
Hmm.
which is like so small that you don't feel it. So you feel completely normal. So you don't have any like effect. You're not high or anything, but it does like, it's a tiny shift in your mental mode. I personally felt like the day where I did it, like I felt more happy. I just like appreciated like the small things more. I like smiled a bit more, maybe laughed a bit more. But it was not like smoking a joint where you like get high with a friend and then you like laugh about stupid things. It was more like just like um, appreciating things, and like maybe you think, oh, this tree looks very beautiful today. You know, like you walk by this one tree every day and you like never pay attention, but then like
Right.
this one day you think like you actually pay attention to like something and think this is nice. Like and it's like also it's not like something where you take a supplement or like it's not like an antidepressant where you take it and then for this day where you take it or for the few hours you have like less depressions, and then after that it like goes back and you have even more depressions. But it's even completely different. Like it changes like the way you think and you appreciate things a bit more. And then the days after, like you don't need to take it again. You just like um, appreciate small things a bit more, and
Hmm.
maybe also make a decision that you avoided making, or maybe you fix some habit that you like didn't want to fix before, or like these like small things where it makes it easier for you to make this decision. But it's also like not a big thing. Like you might try it because someone of your friends offers you at some point, but you don't notice anything like this. It's such a small dose that it's like hard to fully measure. But I personally found it helped me. Might not help everyone, and yeah, but you need to make sure that you do it somewhere where it's legal, or like in Thailand. I hear it from some friends that might be easier to get things there.
That's very interesting. So you take microdose of LSD, and that helps
I
you to
have
be more
um,
present.
I have tried that, so
Mm,
someone offered it to me.
interesting. I've never tried that. I don't know how that feels. But you're saying it makes you a bit more calm, happy, more present, and notice the small things more. You get more joy out of the small things.
Yeah, but also it's individual, so not everyone maybe experiences the same. I also had some experiences with like higher doses in the past, so I'm not like fully unfamiliar with that. But it was like longer ago, so yeah, I didn't like feel anything, but I just felt like a slight shift, which is not like something like it's not like something obvious, but more like this tiny, maybe similar to when you meditate in the morning and you just feel a bit more focused today, like just this like tiny shift.
I see. Okay. It's very interesting. And what about the projects you're working on? Do you want to share some projects that you're currently working on?
Yeah, so I think like one interesting thing I recently started with some people here, we kind of want to like accelerate the longevity part of network school. So we want to like, it's still like kind of a open playbook. Like we don't know exactly how it's gonna work out, but we want to create like a full health offering for everyone here. So if you think about like there are these like longevity clinics where you can go and they like walk you through all these things, take your blood, measure all the things in your body, and then suggest you to optimize these things. Like kind of want to create something here that does all these things to people. So we organize like blood tests for people here. So it wasn't like we haven't created a company yet, but we just wanted to test demand and figure out, okay, do people want it? So then like 20 people showed up and got their blood tested, and we kind of like negotiated a cheaper deal for them because we have a group. So then we know, okay, we could offer something like this as a service maybe, that we take their blood, and we help people getting going with like glucose monitors. So we just like explained them how it works, and they bought the sensor themselves, and yeah, like now 50 people here have a glucose sensor on their arm, like this kind of glucose monitor. So it's measuring the glucose levels, and then you can analyze your body in a way. You see how your glucose is changing over time. You can see how your food intake is affecting your glucose, and then you can optimize your decisions in a way. And
How does that work?
like this, so the
Device
sensor
that
is
you
like,
have.
it's like it has a small chip in it and battery, and there's a tiny like filament inside your body. So it's like shoots into your arm. You don't feel it, like it's fully painless. It's less than getting a vaccination or like some blood drawn, like you actually don't feel it. But then the sensor is there for like 2 weeks, and you can see on your phone, so it connects via Bluetooth, and you can see the data every 5 minutes. And then you can see like how your glucose levels are doing. So glucose is like measured in milligram per deciliter. So then you see, okay, currently I have 90 milligram per deciliter, and after I ate food, it went up to like 120, and then in the night it maybe dropped to like 70 down, and maybe you had bad sleep, so you think, okay, maybe it's because of this drop, and then you can ask ChatGPT, how can I optimize it? And then it's just a window into your body, like similar to maybe a Whoop, like where you have a wearable, or like an Apple Watch, where you see your heart rate over time. You can see your glucose over time, and then make decisions on how to optimize it. Yeah, and like just like sharing this with people here and like testing demand, like without like we haven't created a company, but this like shows, okay, there's some potential, so we might start a business. And if you think about like this place here becoming a state at some point, like if you think about this becoming an actual country, like health spend in like bigger countries, if you think about Singapore or like similar nearby countries like Taiwan, they have quite some like about like 10% of the GDP is like health spend. So and this here is like a really, really healthy community. So these people don't want to just like get doctor checks. They don't want to see, okay, I want to detect for diseases, but these people here want to like optimize their health. They want to like stay healthy. So we planned on making kind of a full project of focusing on improving people's health and also like maintaining people's health and kind of being the health clinic or maybe the health part of the government here. So yeah, we want to maybe expand and offer certain products to people, offer like health services, maybe like red light therapy, like similar things to what Brian Johnson is doing. But it's like hard to do it yourself because you can't afford these devices. So it would be good if like someone where you can just subscribe to it and then you have like credits and you can go to red light therapy and you can take a blood test and you get a glucose sensor, you get some stool sample test to test your microbiome, and then it tells you, okay, take these bacteria and take these supplements. And yeah, so this is something new I'm exploring right now.
Very exciting projects, man. I'm personally excited about the improvements with AI and tech in the health industry, how it can help us improve our health. So very interesting, man. I wish you all the best. Before I let
Yeah,
you go, what is the best advice you have gotten so far in general?
I mean, I've got a bunch of advice, so it's like I didn't store it in my brain as like, okay, this is the best one. But I think you should just like feel into yourself and like just do the thing that you feel like makes you happy and work hard. Yeah, I can't give you the best advice, but I can. Yeah, hard work pays off.
Hard work pays off. That's a good advice, bro, and it's so true. I appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing your insights. It was great catching up, doing this part 2 of the podcast, and I'm sure in the future we'll do more of it. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming, Dominic.
next podcast will be here.
Possibly. All right, man. Thank you.
I'm waiting for you.